Today, I'm gonna show you how to make your photos instantly better in Lightroom. Hi everyone, and welcome to the very first tutorial on this channel. Today we're gonna talk about how to make your photos instantly better in Lightroom. Now obviously this won't exactly work with every single photo you've ever taken, but hopefully this will make your photos more interesting, a bit more lively, more cool. But yeah, it shouldn't work with every single photo you've taken. And I've actually created a 3-point system on how to get good photos. So anyways, let's cut the chat and jump into Lightroom. See what I did there? Pretty cool transition. I'm just kidding. Let's go on with today's tutorial. So anyways, I chose this photo right here, as you can see on the screen, because it looks nice, decent, and I think I really like the photo by itself, but I think this could be a good starting point for the tutorial. But before I even start the tutorial, let's talk about some stuff first. A good photo can already stand by itself. I mean, you don't need to put extra effort into editing one. Just keep it as is, it's gonna be perfect. 70% composition and 30% editing. Always keep that in mind because, like I said, a good photo can pass, and just adding a bit of editing can make it or break it. So just keep that in mind. Anyways, let's go on to the actual tutorial. I said it twice already. Alright, so the first part of this tutorial is the topic about composition. What exactly is composition? Well, I don't exactly have the exact definition, but you can search it on Google by yourself. I'm not gonna do it for you.
According to Google, composition is the nature of something's range of constituents, the way in which a whole reaches your homework. Or basically, I think that's not
what it's meant. But anyways, in this case, composition is supposed to be something that makes up the base of your photo. What shutter did you use? What aperture did you use? What ISO? What framing? How are the light conditions? All of these kind of just make up the base of your photo. And in the end, does it make you happy? Does it make you satisfied? Like, oh, I think I like this photo, I'll stick with it. And honestly, there's nothing much I can help you with there because it is your own taste. And again, photography is subjective. There's no such thing as the best photo in the world. But yet again, I will leave that to you. However, I will leave you 3 very good tips. The first one is try to overexpose your photo just a bit, not too much, but just a bit. Why? Well, if you underexpose your photo and overexpose it in post, you're going to introduce noise, which is going to kind of degrade your photo, and you don't want that. And the second tip is to always shoot in RAW whenever you're doing landscape portraits or whatnot, because when you shoot RAW, you're getting twice as much data as JPEG, and basically getting twice as much detail as JPEG. You can actually pull out the highlights, the background, pull up the shadows, and still have detail and find out what's in the shadows or highlights. So try to do that. And lastly, shoot flat. I mean, this applies to both photo and video. Try to lower the contrast, saturation, and sharpness of the picture style in your camera so that you get more dynamic range, I guess. So anyways, 3 simple tips for topic 1. Now let's go to topic number 2, which is correction. Alright, correction basically means we're going to correct the exposure, the contrast, everything for the image. Alright, so let's go to Lightroom now. Now as you can see, the photo is rather, I guess, balanced, both underexposed and not exactly. It's actually both bright and dark at the same time. So obviously I kind of do want a better image. So let's kind of pull up the shadows, the exposure, sorry, just a bit right there. So now we're gonna do some contrast. We're gonna add some contrast. I would like to put it at 39. And then for highlights, we're gonna bring it down. This is my usual routine for editing, just so you know. Now we're gonna pull up the shadows right here. Not too much because we don't want noise again. We're gonna go to the whites, pull it down, and then pull up the blacks. Alright, so obviously here's the before, pretty dark, now pretty bright. And now obviously it looks less flat, less like, I guess it's corrected maybe, you can say. And now we're gonna add some clarity and lower the vibrance just a bit because I don't like too saturated. Because if it is too saturated, it look kind of corny and it's just weird. So anyways, we're gonna move the vibrance down and just add some saturation, just a bit, just to kind of balance out the colors. Let's go here down to the Lens corrections, enable purple corrections, smooth aberration, also and add auto. So that's that for correction. Now we're gonna move on to the last step, which is probably the best step. I call it vision. Basically, vision in my term is color grading. This is where we get to add the really cool stuff, adding the tones, adding the color profiles. Anyways, let's go here at the tone curve, and now what we're gonna do is basically create this faded black look, which is kind of cliche, but I think it looks great. So what we're gonna do is create an S curve. So we have here the shadows, the blacks, shadows, midtones, highlights, and I forgot what you call this. But anyways, what we're gonna do is pull down the shadows, right, just a bit, and when you pull up the blacks, you're gonna get this really nice faded look, which is kind of cliche, like I said, but I think it's pretty nice. Now we're gonna put the midtones. Just a bit. Alright, the highlights look good now. Alright, so let's try to make it as balanced as possible because I don't want a really ugly image. Alright, here's the before and after. So obviously it looks much better. Sort of better, I guess. We're gonna go to the HSL color tab. And now let's see what we can do here. Alright, so as you can see, we got the choices of hue, saturation, luminance. Now what I'm gonna do is the blue and teal color profile. It's pretty cliche, but it's the most appealing to me. So what you wanna do basically is move down here, all the way down here, to the camera calibration. We're gonna move the hue going to the left, so you get this teal look, and then move the red primary to the right. Alright, so now you get this kind of feel. Now you can adjust it, you can micro adjust or just kind of drag and playing around with the color depending on your photo, but this is how you get that teal blue orange, I also call it the blockbuster look. And it's pretty cliche, I keep saying that, but it is really a fun thing to do. Now the last step I want to do is go to the saturation tabs and just look for ugly colors. And personally, I like to keep the reds, the oranges, the yellows. Oops, what happened there? And then the greens, I think I like to desaturate the greens a lot. The aquas, I'm turning off the color. Next the aquas. I think I'd like to desaturate the aquas just a bit. That's fine. We're gonna desaturate. We're gonna increase the saturation of the blue. Right there, I think that's good. For the purples, or any purples here, I guess. None. Oh, actually, I should desaturate the orange is too strong, as you can see in the sunset. Or what else? Yeah, just getting there. Now for split toning, what I like to do is add this purple, no, not purple, this teal shadow look, and basically we're gonna put the balance to 100 and lower the saturation, so you get a bit of more color in the shadows. It looks more cool, obviously, because it is a cool color.
I'm sharpen it using the usual steps. Just really, this is subjective. You can do all in sharpening, but personally, I just do it all the time. So, with that, we're just gonna do these in front here.
And I think that's all right for the simple color grading. Now we're gonna add some stuff. We're gonna add some interesting stuff. What I'm gonna do is add a gradient filter to the sky and see if we can change the color of the sky to make it more sensitive. So I'm gonna choose it right over here. I'm gonna go and exposure. So we can get. So I'm gonna add just a bit of that, lower the highlights, so we get more nicer color. Let's make it stronger. I think I like that. Alright, so it looks pretty good to me. Now we're gonna just add more. What I'm gonna do actually is add a graduate filter to balance the water, because the water has this dark thing with this the water has this graduate filter for some reason, so I just want to add my own to the sky to kind of balance it out. So yeah, I think that's a bit stronger, more balanced. Alright, so that looks more or less okay, I guess. What it's gonna do is just lower the exposure. Oops. Okay, I think that's good. That looks fine to me. So we have the before, which is plain, before, and after. So, yep, the colors starting to pop. Looking good, looking good. Now what I'm going to do now is add filters, radio filters on the bright and dark parts of the photo. And what that's going to do is create sort of this layer. It's going to create more depth into it. So as you can see, this part's pretty bright. I just add that, and add that here. Yeah, just basically add bright filters to the parts to make sure it's bright, and for the dark parts, add it to where it's dark. And just keep duplicating and etc. And it's gonna look pretty interesting at the end, so let me show you that just a bit. Just add these. Oops, layer. We'll add more contrast and more feeling to it. So this is the image here now. We have before and after, and now if I show you the filters, this is without the radio filters, and if I add it, it looks more vibrant, as you can see. So there we go. Yep. And this technique is actually called dodge and burning. And dodge and burning is basically when you increase the highlights and bring down the shadows to make it more contrast. Oops, I must get my coffee. It's basically when you bring down the highlights. I'm sorry, bring up the highlights and bring down the shadows. Just keep adding. Just keep adding. You can add a lot to your liking, but there actually is no limit. You just keep doing this forever until you're just really satisfied with everything. But I think that's actually pretty good. Here's the before and after. It's popping, popping, popping. And yeah, that looks pretty nice. So guys, if you did enjoy the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment down below in the comment section. And as always, I will see you in the next video. See you.